Because I realized some of the things, they are heavier, they're bigger. You know? In the process of being big, I'm like to myself, I'm not going to go down for this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drown. I'm not allowing him to drown me. Because if I drown, I'm drowning with my kids.
Welcome to the Safe Space Chats podcast with Madam Speaker. Hi, my name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. On this podcast, we are creating a safe space for ourselves through heart-to-heart conversations, encouraging others to do the same. Just because we don't believe in the same things, we don't like the same things, we're not interested in the same things, it does not mean that we cannot coexist. So this is a safe space for you to exist even when you are different and unique. Welcome to the Safe Space Chats podcast with Madam Speaker. My name is Perseverance Maremeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. As usual on the Safe Space Chats podcast, I never ever go alone. There's always somebody next to me, and I'm going to allow our guest to introduce herself. Hey, Sissy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Please introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Asnath Mathiba. Born and bred from Alexandra. I grew up in Alexandra. Part of my life, I lived it in Venda. I'm a part-time village girl, but based in Joburg. Mm-hmm.
How is life of being a village girl based compared to life in
the city?
In the city, yeah.
Well, the city is very demanding and very busy. The village is not that hectic.
Yeah.
It is peaceful. Mm-hmm.
So if you were to choose, would you prefer the life in the city or the village, or based on the circumstances as they differ?
I think the circumstances would differ, but I think I would love the chaos, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I would choose the chaos.
Okay. So, and then how was life in the city then?
It was quite good.
Good.
Yeah, it was quite good to, yeah, it was okay.
Take me through life growing up in the city.
I grew up with mostly my sisters. My sisters raised me.
Okay.
I do not have parents. My mom died when I was 13.
Okay.
We were living in Limpopo then. She died when I was 13, and then I had to come back to Joburg. I only went that year, the year that I was actually doing grade 8. Then I had to come back to Joburg the second year. So I came back and I stayed with my sisters. I have 4 sisters. I'm a last born.
Okay.
Yeah. So they basically my mothers. They basically my parents. In fact. Mm-hmm.
They raised you.
Yes, they raised me.
How do you feel about the way that your sisters raised you, based on, like, compared to how you are raising your kids now? Do you feel like they did the best they could? Do you feel like maybe they could have been better, or what?
Well, there's always that one thing that you feel like they could have done better. But I believe they did the best they could, because, when you're a married woman, you bring in your younger sibling, it's not an easy thing to do. But they did their best. They fought for me to be in their life, or they fought for me to have a stable life. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you having a stable life, how do you interpret that, for yourself, to say, okay, with what I've been taught by my sisters and where I am in the works of life?
Firstly, I would say they've sacrificed whatever they had to take me to a private school. They did.
Yeah.
Fast forward to growing up, being the child, having everything I need. I want this phone, they would buy it. I want this, they would buy it. Fast forward to me passing like my matric, having to go out there. I felt lost, to be honest, because I was I was always with my sisters and their children, so I felt very lost. It was most of the time, I was like, I want to go home. I was in school, I want to go home. They left me in college. I felt like I was abandoned for the first time. So, yeah. And that was the time when life changes, Yeah.
So how did you deal with that feeling of abandonment when you were in college?
Most of the time, I would actually spend my whole time on the phone with them. They would come see me even if they don't have to, until, in colleges they have student counselors and stuff and stuff. They would take me to student counseling, so that I try to understand that I have to have
away
that
from them.
sense of independency, be away from them. Yeah.
Okay. And how is life in college without being monitored and supervised and stuff?
Yeah. At first it was fine. Remember I was like, I only turned 18. I went from matric to part-time being a student. And then that was the year I met my boyfriend, my first boyfriend. Yeah. So things they were hectic and busy. And, you get to think you have all the freedom, you've got everything figured it out, that I'm alone now. You seem to understand that, okay, they said I must have independency. And when you've grown, you realize that you didn't really look at that perfectly. You didn't look at it the correct way. You probably misinterpreted the independence word.
Okay. How did you interpret the independent word in your own interpretation?
Well, I started... I had a boyfriend. I started to not want to live in the race. Okay. I wanted to live with my boyfriend. I just wanted to be with him every time. We were always together all the time. Yeah. And in results, I failed my first year.
Okay.
Because I was always with him. Obviously, when you want to study, you can't study. You with a boyfriend. You gotta be with a boyfriend.
Did your sisters know that you had a boyfriend by then?
No, they only realized it later that year that actually things are going down the rail because I was not focused. I was not coming back home anymore. And then they were worried that I was homesick. And then all of a sudden, I don't want to come back home. What is happening? They would come to rest. They wouldn't find me. Those kind of things.
Also, your boyfriend was living off campus. But was he studying with you as well?
No. He was studying something else.
Oh, okay, yes. Somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay, so how was that? Because, love is a beautiful thing. If you're falling in love for the first time and everything is just so beautiful. What is so wrong about that?
It was good. Oh, it was perfect. I don't want to lie. It was good. I felt like I found somebody who understood me. I felt like I found somebody whom I'm not sharing with other people entirely. Like, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just felt like he was mine in mine. Yeah, I felt like he's got all the time for me. When you're off the campus, you're going like it's a break or the lectures are finished, and then when you go out, he's just standing there. You're like, oh, okay, you don't have your life anymore. You just have our life.
Yeah. And how did that work out?
It was good. It was good. It was perfect. Yes. Until we decided there's no need for me to stay at rest. We can somewhere stay together.
Okay.
That was the turnover of everything. Because sometimes when you stay with somebody, you kind of you are in each other's spaces.
All the time.
It's a lot. Yes.
Okay, so what happened when you guys now move in together?
We stayed together. It was fun at first. Only when you realize that there's a time where you can't always be together. Maybe I need to go out with my friends. Now I have to limit the number of friends I have because now I stay with somebody. I cannot go out as I please because now I stay with somebody. It's like you're playing a half-wife thing.
Yeah.
Before the time.
Did your family know that you were staying with this guy full time?
No, they only found out when I was actually going back to college that I'm not actually going to rest. I'm going somewhere else.
Okay.
And at that time, it was raining. It is windy. It is stormy. They can't stop me there and ask me, where are you going? And I'm like, bye, I'll see you on a weekend. Knowing very well a weekend I'm not going home.
And how did they take that?
They freaked out. They were pissed and they were angry. They were furious. They were angry to a point where they had to find my boyfriend and try to talk to him and telling him that he must leave me alone. So, yeah, it was hectic. Things started to be hectic then, and at some point I understood they don't know they don't know me like that.
Okay.
I've never had anybody in my life. They've never had me talk to a boy. They don't know that side. What happened where I'm just gonna go in entirely on a boy? Wow, what's going on in my mind? What do I need? Why am I like?
Yeah.
Yes.
They felt like maybe there's a void that
Yes.
that boy is feeling, and they wanted to understand that so that they can rescue you from that boy.
Correct.
Was there a need for them to rescue you? Like if you look at it now.
Yes, there was. There was a need to. Yeah, there was a need to rescue me.
What exactly did they need to rescue you from? Like looking back after.
You know, when I look back at everything, I lost myself very quickly in a relationship. I lost a sense of being myself in a relationship, trying to make a relationship work. And mind you, he was my first boyfriend, so I really felt like this is where I'm at. Yes, this is what I want to do. This is me. I want to do this.
So when do you get the reality check to say, okay, things are not as rosy as I thought they were?
When I got pregnant with my first child.
Were you still in college by then?
No.
Okay.
I had I had failed, and I couldn't tell them at home entirely that I failed. Then I left the college. You know, when you're in nursing school, if you fail maybe for your first year or your second year, you've got modules covered, so they allow you to practice as a certain rank or certain years. So I had to go work. I started working. And then my sisters believed, okay, she'll pick up, she'll go to school, she'll do something else. Yeah. She's always stronger.
You are laughing, but it's not funny.
No, it's not. So at that time when I was working, we were still staying together.
Yeah.
His parents were freaking out. My sisters were freaking out.
By the fact that you guys are staying together?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But his parents became calmer about the whole situation, better than my sisters. My sisters, even today, they still freak out. They're still angry.
Yeah.
But I had to work. Yeah. Then, boom, I'm pregnant. And then I have to tell my sisters that I'm pregnant. I didn't tell them until that I'm pregnant. I found out, I think it was in October. Then I had to go back home in December. Everybody's there, you know. I'm like, oh my God. I started wearing big things, hiding my tummy. But my sister could see, man,
something's
girl,
off.
Why when we bath, you just take your thing and you go at the back, you'll be like, hey, it's hot, I'm going to bath at the back. I'm like, no, it's just that it's full of people here. I just want to relax. I just want to bath at my own pace. That's why I bath after everybody. So that nobody's telling me that I'm finishing the water or I'm doing what, and what.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, hey, let me tell my cousin. I told my cousin I'm pregnant. And my cousin's like, hey, go. I'll tell your sisters when you've left. I left. I went to Mercado. I stayed in Mercado the whole day because now I'm scared of going back home. And she texted me and was like, come back. I told them. I got there. They were green. They're green. I'm like, hi. They were like, sit. Whose baby is it? Then they were like, is it the same guy? And I'm like, yes. They were like, instead of maybe talking me through, they're like, I told you this guy is not a nice guy. This guy, what? Now I'm crying there. I'm hysterical, like, you know. And then his family started saying I mustn't come to their home until I've been introduced formally. Okay. I'm pregnant then. Like, I was going to their place every day.
They didn't mind. Now I'm pregnant. They're telling me that you can't come officially when you're not introduced official. I was so confused and lost. I was like, oh my God. Where are we going with this? Because you thought now it's going to be like even more official than it was before.
Exactly. And I can't go back home to my sisters and like, oh, they're saying what. No, because my sisters don't want to hear a thing about it. Okay, I stay there. One day I'm like, we stay in the same village. It's just that the other one stays the upper village, the other one, yeah. And there's something in me, I'm like, can you bring me grapes? I'm pregnant then. I'm like, I'm bored. Bring me grapes. It's not like Joburg. Joburg, you can go to ShopRite or whatever that you're going to buy anything that you want. There you must drive further. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to bring them. I could see them like, man, why is he not coming? This guy's not coming. I'm like, let me go to his home. After they told me that, don't come.
Yeah.
I went. When I went there, it's locked and I knock. Nicely so. I could see the car is outside. I knock peacefully so. He comes out shirtless. He's like, hi, babe. I'm like, hi, can you open? He's like, no, I can't open.
Heaven.
And then I'm like, why are you not opening the door? He's like, no, I want to take a nap. I'm like, yeah, open. We'll take a nap together.
Yeah.
He's like, you go home.
Heaven.
Hey, I stood there. Now I started to be dramatic. I started to shout. I shout, something triggered me. I started to shout. And then the girl that was inside came out.
Also, that he was actually having a girl inside.
The girl came out and be like, what's wrong? Gang, what's wrong? And I'm like, open the door. Open the door. I don't want you. I want him. I want to talk to him. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And she's like, we're not opening the door. Fine. And then we had a car that we bought together. Remember, I was working. So I took out the half, he took out the half, we bought a car. And I'm like, fine. You love this car so much, you will open the door. I took a brick. You know those bricks?
Yeah.
And I took the window. I shuttered the window. Then he came out running. He's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, no, you need to come out. And he's like, no, you can't wreck a car like that. I'm like, no, I'm wrecking my part.
Yes.
I'm wrecking the money. Yes, the half of the money. I'm wrecking my part. Don't worry, I won't go to the other side of the car. I'm only going to wreck one side.
Yeah.
And he started saying, no, what's wrong? You know, in the village, there's aunties, like vicinity houses where, yes, the aunties started to come in. It's like, no, you have to go home. You remember we told... I'm like, so me as a pregnant girlfriend, I cannot come in the yard. But a non-pregnant girlfriend, any other girlfriend can be in the yard. It didn't make sense to me. Then I went home and I explained to my sisters, I'm like, I know I messed up, but I need you guys to listen to me. You know, you cannot crucify me for whatever that happened. Just listen to me.
Yeah.
And they were like, no. It's also based on your decision to decide what you want to happen, what. Okay, fast forward, I gave birth. Now, I don't know the child. We must go to my house. The child must be taken to the man's house. Like, it was very confusing. When we go, the parents are just angry there. It's like, when things get to be serious, my family wants to be involved to negotiate what do we do now. Now that there's a child, his family
is not interested anymore.
It's just like, when my family retract and say, okay, fine, they don't want us. Let's just sit. But now they start saying, when is your family coming? Like, I was just like a Popeye.
Yeah,
sort of. If I put it, if I put it like that. Then we went on. Then I could see the guy changing. He's like, I'm going to fight for you. We're going to have a family. Fast forward, he pays lobola for me. And then we have a second baby.
Okay. Were you guys staying together?
Yes.
Okay.
We've been staying together. He pays lobola for me. And then in the process of paying lobola, his parents were not merely involved, but the aunts, they were involved, because his parents, when something serious has to happen between us, they
always pull
they
back.
They always retract, and then when something is good, they come. That pattern, I only noticed it now that I can literally look at things and be like, man, you know. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Let's do it. He's like, let's do it, because my aunt is there, my grandfather is supporting it, my grandmother is supporting it, so we can somebody do it.
Yeah.
And we lobolat each other, everything was fine. Then we had a second baby, a planned second baby. And then we had a second baby. In the process of having a second baby, we were staying in 4 ways. In my process of being pregnant, you know, then another girl comes. When I'm pregnant, the girl just comes. Yeah, there's always a girl rocking. Girl started telling me that you with my man. You know, something that I don't have that energy to attack the girl. I always go for
the guy.
I always go for the guy. My anger I project it to the guy. I don't talk to the lady, because things will get south very fast. It's never a good thing to go for. Okay, I'll just like, so what must happen? And he's just like, I want to meet you. I'm like, I can't. Tell your boyfriend you want to meet me. And then I called him. I'm like, bro, your girlfriend called me. He's like, hey, nah, I can't girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I'm like, I'm going to meet her.
Now.
Then I knew he was going to come back home. He's like, huh? I'm like, I'm going to meet her.
Yeah.
She says I must come to 4 Ways Mall. I'm going.
Yeah.
No, you can't drive. You're pregnant. What. I'm like, no. I'm still able. I'm like 8 months pregnant. Let me drive.
And since, well, you're saying you don't have a girlfriend.
Let me go meet the girl that says she's your girlfriend. He's like, no, you can't. I'm like, I can. He's like, no, you can't. And mind you, when he, I realized that I'm a nurse in his life, yes, but his girlfriends are accountants. Like they're not in.
He doesn't just want anybody.
Yes, professionally
useful people.
Yes. And I'm like, this person has a pattern. Like, okay, fine. When you guys being with your first love, it's very dangerous. You don't get to open other doors. You don't get to understand things that are out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I realized, okay, this is getting to some point. I'm like, let me give birth. After giving birth, I'm doing me. If we are going to stay together, then we're just going to be in an open relationship. That is going to happen. Okay. I gave birth, go to the hospital. When I'm giving birth, when I want something, he's there. When you want this, he's there. I'm sick, I have to go to, he's there. He's doing everything right at that point. Give birth, come back home. And we raise our own kids. We take care of our own kids from scratch. Then we're there. He's on leave. We're taking care of the child. We're fine. Something in me be like, this guy, there's a red flag. Something is not right.
On top of all the other red flags.
Yes. I know. Those ones, to me, they were green.
Yeah. You were colorblind.
They were green. I was loved then.
Yes.
The fact that I felt like him defending me to his parents and saying, no, what. And still he goes and do something that is horrible to me.
Yeah.
I felt like
the fact that he defended you, it's good enough.
Yes. I felt like, that's enough. Okay. I went like, this guy. One day, I think my child was like 6 weeks. Guy didn't come back.
Yeah?
The night.
He slept outside?
Yeah, but then I asked, I'm like, I called him one night. I was worried because it was the first time it happened. I was like, what if he's in an accident or something? Okay, I called. And then he sent me back a message. He's like, I'm not dead. Then I'm like, I'm glad you're breathing oxygen. Then I stayed. When he came back, I fumed. I don't want to lie, I fumed. We had a fight. We were swearing. Like our fights. And when we say, the people didn't understand. We would say in English, Mind we both vendors, but when we should be like, it's English, why?
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, I didn't. I was like, where were you? It's like I packed my car at work. And then somebody locked the garage. So I was locked inside. I'm like, is your phone not working? No, babe, it was working, but the network. Oh, God.
And you're just supposed to buy that.
Yeah, and then I bought the store. I'm like, okay, fine.
You have to buy it for the sake of buying because you have to buy something.
And then we went. Then it went south, south end. They were in the process of the spaceway. It's like 2018 till now. There were my colleagues in between, my friends. Like, I didn't have much friends, like a bigger circle. But those little friends I had, they would somehow have a connection with him.
Okay.
Like I would find that he's talking to my friend.
Okay.
They're chatting. I would ask, what's going on? They were like, he's like, no, your friend wanted help of what. Okay. Obviously, maybe on his phones, on his phone, the chats are not, they're filtered. Maybe he deleted some stuff.
Yeah.
And I would hear from the girls, it's like, oh, your husband was here yesterday, huh? Like, doing what they? No, he came to see me. Or. I'm like, when do you guys communicate? The girl took out the phone. She's like, yeah. I started reading. The meeting, a guest house involved. I was in shock. I was like, heaven.
So was your friend confessing something they did wrong? Or?
Yes. She was literally telling me the things they did. And then... your threesome there with a friend. Like, it was a lot. I was in shock. And then I got angry. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to ask this guy. Let me date other people and see how it is. I'm probably depriving myself something that is actually good.
That's why he keeps going out there.
Yes, let me do what he does. Maybe we're just not enough for each other. Maybe we love each other. We want to be in each other's lives, but we're just not making each other happy at this moment. And I dated this guy. Things went I started looking beautiful. I started feeling good. I don't want to lie. The love was good.
Yeah.
Then I think it lasted for 3 months. I don't want to lie. I felt good. I saw the difference. You know, even though they always say the one you stay with, you'd feel like, you know. And then I think you could notice that I'm too happy. I'm too relaxed. Even if he's not home, I don't ask. He comes back late. I don't ask. Even if he didn't buy anything, I don't ask. Like, why should I ask? I just write a note on the fridge and it's like, don't forget the powder milk for the baby. Don't forget the pampers for the baby. Don't forget the nappies for the baby. I was not shouting anymore. I was not saying anything anymore. Okay, fine. Then he hacked my phone.
Sure.
One day I was sitting on the couch there laughing with the boyfriend. Then he'll just come and, who are you talking to? I'm like, nobody. He's like, open the phone. I'm like, Where now who opens your phone? You are the one who put the code on your phone first. Yes. I followed suit. Yes. What's wrong with that? And he's like, you're a woman. You can't do that. I'm like, so I will do what you do. I'm doing what you are doing. He took my phone. He went to the bedroom. He locked the bedroom. Hey. I went running to the bedroom, wanting my phone back. Yeah, winner, bring my phone. Broke the door down. I don't know where I got that power.
Sure.
But I wish God gave me that power before, way back before the whole thing.
Yeah.
Then he's like, oh, you want the phone? You want what? Okay, in the process of me taking I think I was just too powerful, like physically. I tackled him down. I took the phone. Then in pursuit of me taking the phone, running away, he came and just bite me here twice. And then I'm busy. I'm just going, oh my God, leave me alone. You know? Yeah. He's like, never. I'm like, leave my flesh alone. He's like, never. And then when he says never, he lets go of the first bite.
Hey, then
instead of letting me go, he bites again. And with me trying to run, it's making it hard because now he's holding my... Oh, my God. Then I'm like, oh, my God, no. We can't be... Okay, we do argue, we do sweat each other. We can't be physical. You can't like bite this. Me. Why are you biting me? You know? I'm like, why you... The minute I got my phone in hand, and then he's like, what? Let me see where I bite you. Let me see if it's bad. Then I forgot about the phone. I put it on the table. And then he's like, Eric, and then I go. He grabs the phone again. Gone with the phone again. In the car, start the car, gone. We had one car at that time. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. What's going to happen here? Then I called my sister. My sister was staying here in Alex at home. I'm like, where are you? She's like, I'm at home. King. I'm like, I'm coming. It's like, get 10. Sleep. I'm like, I can't. I'm coming there. I went. Can't, I'm bleeding. Like the blood is dripping. I call an Uber, take the kids. My sister's like, what happened? I explain. One thing about it, I never lied to my sisters of the deeds that I did.
Yes.
I just explained, this time we're fighting because I did something.
Yeah.
I went out there and I was happy. I told him, I was happy. There I was happy. And then in the process of that, when he found out, I'm like, let's just...
End it.
Yeah, let's end it. I'm okay. Like, never. You feel like you're happy now. Now you've been making me break up with people. Then all of a sudden, when you find somebody, nobody's breaking up with anybody here. You're staying with me, when. You know the toxic love?
Sure.
He fetched me at home. He would come. At first, I would ignore. He would bang the gates. And my sister would end up saying, hey, wait, go back. Go to your man. Because, like, well, we want to sleep. Go. Then I would go back. Fast forward, we went living peacefully. We decided to, like, let's sell the house in 4 ways and go to Rodiport. Then we moved. That was the worst decision of my life. In Rodiport is not really far from where his parents live. In the process of us waiting to move into the house, we're staying with his parents.
Okay.
Yes. It was okay, but it's a bit overwhelming if you've never like stayed with I feel Livona maybe the way overwhelmed. I saw that things would go south if I speak up because he would come back late. they wouldn't say anything. One day I'm like, let me pass by the mall.
Yeah.
Get myself a coffee. I came back late. I got there. They were sour. Then I said, I was at work. They were like, why? I'm like, I was waiting for an ambulance. They were like, what are we supposed to eat?
Sure. So you were that makoti, ne?
Yes.
Proper one.
Yes, I cook. I love cooking.
You get home, you do all the makoti deeds.
Yes, after work. Even though the sister is there, the sister is there, I'll go home and still cook. Up until maybe one day, my mama's will be saying, no, you must share the duties. We wake up, you'll ask the other sister, you washing dishes, you doing what you do. There's a sister that is the same age as me. But I would actually opt to cook all the time because I love cooking.
Yeah.
One day I was sleeping, I was from work. I have migraines, hence you can say that I wear glasses most of the time. Yeah. I'm sleeping there. I could see like I'm not coping. On the other hand, I'm studying, Okay. And then this one, the second born we planned. She was crying hysterically. She loves the father more than me. She actually free with the father. Like they play, they do whatever. Me, I'm the mom. Like to her, I'm the mom. One. Yeah, I'm the mom who forces her to drink medication when she doesn't want. Yes. And then his mother came and said, hey, you are sleeping, Mina. I'm busy here with your child. I'm like, give the child to the father. He's sitting there watching TV, isn't he? She's like, hey, Amara, the baby wants you. I'm like, never. The baby can never want me if the father is there. It will never happen. She leaves the child on the bed. And then I woke up and like, hello, Nana. I play with the child. I'm like, I go to my husband and I'm like, can you please take the child? Can you please take the baby? I want to sleep. I want to take a nap. I'm not feeling well. And he's like, okay. He takes the baby. The minute he takes the baby, she feels like he's suffering.
Okay.
She takes the baby.
The mother?
Yes. From the son.
Okay.
I'm like, and I just looked at them, I'm like, hey, I went to bed. I went to bed, woke up, same routine, doing whatever. And then, fast forward, there was one day, it was very stormy. Our car was outside. We used one car all the time. We would fetch each other from work, drop each other from work. It's either I drop him off or he drops him off. Yes. The dropping off, though, only stopped when he had to come fetch me at 4. He came at 6.
2 hours late.
I asked, where were you? No. It's just a complicated thing. I'll explain later. Even today, I've never got the explanation why I was fetched at 6 o'clock. One day, it was hailing. Our car was outside, and then it was hit by the hail. Then insurance calls, blah, blah, blah. Bring the car in. It's being written off because we can't fix the body. In the process of waiting for the insurance, obviously the car is working. I have to go to work. Yeah. I take the car to work. On Fridays, usually I knock off at 1. Guy doesn't tell me that I need to be home by at least 2 so that they can fetch the car.
Okay. The insurance people.
I go from work. My friends, my colleagues, they'll be like, let's go out for drinks. I go out for drinks. I'm like, okay, no, sure. I'm not doing anything afterward. Come 2 o'clock. The swearing I got, you were supposed to be home. A woman was supposed to go from work to home. What are you doing when in the mall? What are you doing when I'm drinking coffee? Because now you're supposed to. I'm like, I'm going out drinking whatever that I'm drinking with the friends. I never said I'm going for coffee. I said I'm going out with friends. No, you can't go out. You should plan it a day before.
Okay.
I can't be spontaneous now. I can't do things. Okay, fine. When I got home, they'd be like, the mother asked me, didn't he tell you that the car is being fetched? I'm like, no, I was only told now. Hence, I'm bringing the car. Then I drop the car off. He calls, don't forget to remove my what behind the car there. There's my laptop there. There's what. Now we are talking like normal people. Okay. I did whatever that I did, and I just, in the process of us, I think there's a point where I didn't tell you, in the process of us having a second child, after, the first child, immediately when we had the first child, he lost his job.
Okay.
So I was the only one working for 4 years.
Sure.
Yes. So I was supporting us. I was doing everything for us. It was prior the Lobola thing. So when he got a job, he paid Lobola.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Then you proceeded from there.
Because I didn't want to pay for myself. I'm like, no, we do. Already we have so many mistakes. We can't be going and paying a Lobola for ourselves.
Yeah.
Then, oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I could see that there's a difference now that he's working, because he went he started lower in his job rank, but he went up very fast.
Yeah.
Then I could see that there's a difference with even the way he addresses me. It's different now. But you can just hey,
whatever.
You have your own problems. Okay, fine. Fast forward, we are moving back to our house, the new house that we bought. We are fine.
After moving away from the
parents.
family, yeah.
Yes, we are with the parents. They're helping us move. We are transitioning to we were fine. They would just rock up anytime. I don't have a problem with people visiting. You would have a sleepover at my place anytime. I don't have a problem with people being there. I'm a people's person. I don't have a problem with me cooking size 20 every day, because now we are here and we're happy. I have 4 sisters. Those sisters have kids. So you can imagine when we're together, we just are one big happy family.
Yeah.
So I don't mind.
Yeah.
And then I realized that he went to a managerial position.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go to the office every day. He doesn't go to office in certain times. He would go in the morning. But he would leave in the morning as if he's going to work, only to go stay with his mom the whole damn day.
Why?
I don't know. And I'm like, what were you doing at your mom's place? No, I went to work and then I was bored. I'm like, then why didn't you come back home? Because I'm on leave. We could be always together. It's like, I didn't think about it. It went on. The pattern went on to a point where I was like, you know what? I have a new MK, the mother.
Yeah, the mother is your
But my
wife.
father-in-law, Shem, he used to fight for me. He used to fight. He would tell them, "This, whatever you're doing, it's not right. You are not his wife. He's got a wife, this person. He's got kids.
Sure.
Why is he always here?" He would tell him, "Don't come to my place. Go to your house." It didn't matter. Now they will do it in secret. You would know, before you would say, "I'm going to my mom's place." Now he doesn't say. You just know. You'll hear from the old one, "No, I was with daddy." Because the old one, the grandmother is fetching from school. I was with daddy before he fetches. I found him there. Oh, okay. I'm like, every day. Okay. One day I'm like, I'm sleeping. It's 6 o'clock. It's Saturday. We were planning to take the kids to fun things, like a resort and whatever. And then the mother calls me. She's like, "Hello, Nana." I'm like, "Yeah, ma." She's like, "Okay, I'm now how?" I'm like, "He's available." Why? She's like, "I'm calling his phone. He's not picking up." I'm like, I look at the time. Usually I wake up early because I need to prepare breakfast, tea for the kids and what. I'm like, we're still sleeping. For sure he's sleeping. He's like, "No, give him the phone, please." Me being me, I took the phone to him. I'm like, "Your mom wants to talk to you." I stood there. Something in me said, "Stand there." I stood there. I'm like, and then he looks at me like, I'm like, "What?"
It's my phone.
"Hey, I'm waiting for my phone." He's like, and I could hear, my phone is loud.
Yeah.
I could hear her saying, "Can you please come and take me to Lance? She's got her own car. She drives." "Why, ma'am, when you're not driving yourself too?" And he's like, "Okay, I'll come." I take the phone. I'm like, you ain't going there. We are going somewhere with the kids." He's like, "No, I'll be back." Did he come back? The whole day with the kids. Now I have to explain to the kids why we're not going to the resort no more. Why we're not doing things no more. The old one said, "Daddy's always busy." I'm like, Daddy's working. His work is demanding. She's like, okay. Like, okay, sharp. One day I'm sitting there with this one. We used to use the gas stove in that new house. The gas got finished. Remember, we have one car still. After the hail one, we got one car still again. I call him. I'm like, "The gas is finished." He's like, "I'll come refill it." I'm like, okay. He was at work on Saturday. I'm like, okay. During the week, I'm the one who goes with the car. I will drop him off, or they will fetch him from work, or they will give him car from work. And my pets are there. My everything is in the car. I don't remove it, even if it's a weekend. I don't remove anything. He lives with the car. I'm like, I called him. I'm like, "Ish, I wanted to order food for the kids. Let me just download the apps for ordering food. What. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's fine, but there's no need because I'm coming to fill up the tank. You're in the process of cooking, so you can't just leave the food." I'm like, "It's 12 o'clock. Come 4 o'clock. I call again. I'm like, where do we refill the gas? Let me get a cab maybe and go refill the gas if they will allow me to get with the gas tank in the car and whatever. I could hear that he's weird on the phone. He was like, I'm like, nah. What's wrong? Because we're supposed to be here at 12. He's like, King, you don't believe in me. You don't trust me.
Heaven.
I'm like, I do. He's like, no, you don't. You know what? Video call me now. I'm like, okay. I know our video call is gonna make me happy. I video called. He never answers. Now I'm video calling. He never answers. Okay. I'm like, let me leave the video calling thing. I send him a message. I'm like, can you send me the card details there? The card number and card what, so that I can order the... He doesn't respond. He texts me and say, I'm at work. I'm like, sharp. My phone had the taxi thing, the cab thing. It was there. But that one had a details, what I see, ton. And I'm like, let me go to his workplace. Maybe we'll address this nicer. We'll get the guests together. I went. And then before I could go to his workplace, I texted and I said, I'm coming to your workplace. He ignored. He thought maybe I'm not coming. I went to parking space. I could see that the car that we use, our car is there. I was excited. I'm like, okay, it means he's still in the office. Let me just wait here. There comes a car. I'm just literally... I'm there. Like, they're parking is one way. There's no way you can go back. For you to go back, you need to turn the car around. There's no way. When you come in, you're facing the wall. Yeah. So you need to turn the car around so that you could go back. It's only one car that could fit there. I was by the wall when they came in like this. I could see man in the car. The girl is busy with him. The pants are down. The girl is like, no, it was just wrong. I had my kids with. Come on. Then I was like to my kids, you know what? Let's move to the other side where Daddy's going to be picking the work car. We went. The minute he came like this, obviously it's the wall. It's me and the kids. He was shocked. He packed the car, left. He left the car there. He left everything there. He jumped ship, gone. Heaven. He left. Then I'm like, I realized there's somebody in the car. I went to the car. When I got there, I was in shock. Like, it was my niece, my sister's child, the one that used to visit my house. Now I'm wondering, what are you doing with my husband? I'm like, girl, what are you doing with my husband? The minute she tried to explain, I got angered. I pulled. She had short hair like mine. I pulled her with this short hair. I dragged her out like the car. I'm like, girl, what are you doing here? When she tried to explain, there's nothing that I can think of than to just slap her. I slapped her once. She's like, why you slap? She's like, please don't fight for my sake. Now
Who said that?
Her, my niece. Yeah. I'm like, your sake? Now I'm thinking of my kids. My kids are there, like,
what's going on?
And I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, I'm calm. Why are you with my husband? No, we were going to remove my dog. My dog had a worm, something like that. I'm like, so why can't you contact me first? For me to know that you are with my husband, you're going to remove the worm that you're talking about. She's like, the dog was just severely sick. What? I'm like, did you remove the worm from the dog? And then she's like, no. I'm like, where's the dog? Can you get the dog?
Yes.
She got the dog. She came with the puppy. I was too angry. I took that puppy, and the puppy started saying, and then the owner of the puppy was running around. Oh my God. The dog's name was Pablo. Oh my God, Pablo. Pablo. Oh my God. And then eventually the dog landed in her arms, in her hands. And I'm like, and then my older daughter's like, I was angry. I've never, if every pore of my body would actually open, that day it opened up. And I'm like, call your boyfriend to come back. Sure. She's like, he's not my boyfriend. I realized later on her phone, my husband was stored as Uncle D with hearts.
Okay.
He's different from me. He doesn't like people like my family wise, he would rather not be there, And I would actually try to understand why are you not,
why you're not comfortable with my family around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I understood. No, man. Maybe you were scared you're going to meet your girlfriend there. But I realized when I attend family gatherings, she's not there. When I'm attending, she's not there. When I'm not there, she's there. And then I'm like, man, this thing makes sense. Then I'm like, are you coming back or you want me to pull the brick stand? I'm going to break this one again. Even this one is my half. I'm going to break it. I took a brick. When I saw him, I got so angered. I went to the car straight. Luckily, this time it hits the body, not...
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's your phone? It's like, it's in the car. I'm like, which car? It's like, our car. I'm like, open the car. I can't find the keys. Yeah. I was angry. I was shaking. I'm like, okay, let me make it easy. I went to find another brick. Oh, the window. To open my side now. I'm like, the car is open. Take your phone out. Sure. It's like, oh, here's the phone. Oh my God, it's on silent. I couldn't hear your calls. I'm like, do you know how many missed calls you've got? Okay, the fact that I want you to bring me gas or food or give me a card number or whatever that I can do something for the kids haven't eaten. And he's like, why didn't you go to my place? I'm like, to my parents' place. I'm like, never. Why would I do that? Now he's like, no, you know what? You shouldn't have came here. What. The other colleagues saw that it's getting heated. Me and him now are running after each other now.
You guys were like, toxic, eh?
Yeah. Huh? And we loved each other like toxicity. We wanted it. We would fight now and then you'd find us together again. You wouldn't understand. And then the colleague calls the way he works. His dad works there. He calls the dad and he's like, Ewin, your makoti is here. Come here. Somebody's going to die. If you're not fetching her, fetch the kids.
The kids, yeah.
He came and he said, I'm fetching you.
Sure.
I left. I didn't say anything in the car. I kept quiet. They gave me a room. I get into the room. I cried. I was shaking. I just went out with my eyes red. I read. I'm like, to his mother, I'm like, before they fetched me. Before this whole mess, when he ran away, and then this one is busy trying to call the cab, but saying, please come fetch me.
Your niece.
Yes. I called the mom.
Is this niece of yours, her mother is your...
Yes, it's my sister. Yes, my mother's... Yes.
Okay. Not even a distant one?
No.
Okay.
It's like he's...
One of the people that raised you?
Yes. And this one, the niece, she's one of the people I was very close to in the family. We actually look alike. She's just me in a younger version, but she's me on the face, everything, yeah.
And what does your sister say?
They're disturbed. Even today, they're disturbed about it. They don't know how to address it. They don't know how to face it. They don't know. I don't think it's easy for them. Maybe it's because even me, I don't really find it pleasant to talk about it with them as family because they're conflicted. You know, they're my sisters, but that is the niece. There's a lot of branches within this thing.
We can't choose one and not the other.
Yes, and not the other.
Yeah.
Something must just happen. And I went, the mom, I'm like, Mama, I took her as my mom because I don't have a mother. When I found her, I'm like, I'm going to have a mother. This is my mother. Mama, Habi's having 1, 2, 3 with my niece. She's like, She hangs up. Instead of telling the grandfather, she didn't. She kept quiet, like she didn't receive a disturbing call until the colleague called and said, come and fetch you. Please, because somebody's going to die here. When he came, I went home and I looked at her. I just told her, I was just like, you know what? The baby didn't eat. Can you just make her something to eat? I went back to the bedroom. I cried. I stayed with them for 2 days. Within 2 days, the father would go to work. I would stay with her. But I would hear her talking to the son. But when I try to call him, I can't find him. But when she calls him, she finds him. And she's not talking about the incident to say, come back, we fix this thing. She's asking, are you okay? Where are you? For sure, she was thinking I'm sleeping because I was always stressed in that period. One day, I'm like, you know what? I need space. Let me go back home in Alex. I say to her, I'm going back home. There's lunch. They're hosting lunch because I cannot just say I'm going back home. I'm married. I went home. I found my sisters there. No, not the mother of the niece. The second born. We stayed there. Oh, the second born was home. I found her daughters there. I stayed with them. They were like, you know what, let's go out. Maybe you'll feel better. In the process of us planning, my sisters landed, the mother of the niece and the firstborn. My mother's firstborn. They come. I could see on the face that they're like pissed, you know. And I'm like, I don't talk much. I don't like, but just don't disturb me because I'm gonna come harder. Don't do that. And then my sister's like, I see, we came to see you. I could see the enyana.
Yeah, attitude.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, what's wrong? They're like, can you sit down? I'm like, Mind you, I had already called the one in van to explain that, hey, something happened here. In case somebody died, don't say I didn't tell you, me.
Yeah.
They're like, we hear the niece saying, Wena, you beat her up. I'm like, oh, that. Did she tell you why I beat her up? No, she was there to remove the worm on the dog. I'm like, oh, you believe that? They're like, I'm like, okay, then there's no need for you guys to be here. And then my sister's child, the one that was in the house, I'm like, can you come sit here? She came and sat there. I'm like, sick, just sit and listen to what they're saying. They're like, the niece is here, is outside. We would just want to understand what happened. I'm like, okay. Why didn't you ask her because you came with her in the car? They're like, no, we want to hear everything when you guys are together. I'm like, okay. They brought the niece. She was just sitting on the opposite couch. I just looked at her. I'm like, And then the mother asked, what happened? Oh, this thing, mind you, everybody's sitting there waiting to hear of that particular incident. She goes all the way to 6 years. She's like, we were together. It started when I was in high school. I was in grade 8, I think, grade 8. Oh my God. We've been dating since then. It's been 6 years. He buys me phone, he buys me clothes, he buys me food. I was shocked. I started to shake. Like, you know, when I'm agitated, I do this because I don't want to talk. I cry a lot if I'm hurt, to a point. And then my sister's child asked, so when are you wrecking somebody's family because now you want the money, you want the phone, you want her life, basically. You want what she has. On top of her suffering in the marriage, you're making it worse. You are the one who's actually making it worse. The marriage is worse because of you. No, I've been to the house. Then they ask her, when you went to her house to visit, were you visiting her? Sometimes. Which means when I went to work, he would drop me off at work and come back home. They would do whatever they were doing. Well, oh my God. When she explained that he buys me stuff, he do stuff for me. The mom was disturbed. The mom started hitting her and say, what kind of a human being are you? Who does that? Mina, I was checked out emotionally. I was like, hey, I'm not going to do this. It's not going to change the situation. I'm just going to be depressed. And I asked, are we done? She started saying, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, girl, you're not sorry. You've been doing this for 6 years. You're not sorry. And then my sister asked, what could be the solution? I'm like, marry them. And everybody opened their eyes. And I'm like, marry them for her to come. I get already, we've been sharing either way. Let her come be the mamngani so that I can go out. They can play happy families with the kids while I go out. And then we can share bills. Because Mina, I'm busy here suffering with the bill while she's taking the portion of the money that has to come to the house. I was here.
Your own sister's child?
Yes, I was here financially because now he's not doing the things that he needs to do. He's always saying, I don't have money. I did want to. I'm paying for the bond. You know, those things. Hey, I'm like, no, man, the bond, we don't eat. Then I realized later, my sister's child is very expensive, has expensive taste, you know. She's she's the kind of girl she thinks she is.
And your husband is maintaining your sister's kids' lifestyle.
Now my kids are suffering. Then I woke up one day, I'm like, you know what? The same day, I'm like, you know what? I'm going out. I'm going to have fun. I'm not going to think about you. This is your child. Deal with it. I was telling my sister. Then I went out. I left. I went to dance. And then I stayed at home. I never went back to fetch the kids after a week. It was a week apart. And then after a week, I called and said, can I have the kids? I called the mother-in-law. She's like, yeah, you can fetch them. And then I fetched them. I stayed in Alex. I stayed with my sister. I went to my house and took my bag and stayed with my sister.
Which sister?
Second born in Alex. The mother of the niece is the third born.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I stayed there from March 2022, March. It was the week of the incident. Mind you, it's at home at Alex. It's a 4-bedroom house, but she also has kids. They have to move for me. I have kids, you know. They used to having 1 bedroom each. Now they have to share so that I can have the other bedroom. But they didn't mind because I was going through whatever that I was going through. I stayed there. Then 2 weeks later, I got sick. I realized that I'm pregnant again.
Hence the tiny baby that I saw you with there.
Yes, that one. Then I took a pregnancy test. I take a picture. I sent him, and I'm like, "You're gonna be a father again. You're gonna be a daddy again." It's like, I'm really sorry about what happened. I just feel like now when we're gonna have a family, this kind of big family, we have to try things. We have to like make it work. I don't know what happened. Don't love a person that much, man. I went back, not to the house, to the person. We started having nice conversations about it, saying what we do. We even bought, you see that gender prediction thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it together. We found out that now it's a boy. We got excited. We're trying to forget the bomb, but the bomb was not being forgettable because now it's in the family. And then I stayed at home from that time in March, the whole time. And then come October, I'm giving birth. I just sent, he knew that I'm using the same doctor because I was in his medical aid. Doctor comes, I'm like, I'm in labor. I just texted because there were times where I couldn't get him on the phone. I couldn't, there were times he would just call and swear. In the process of us being nice to each other, but sometimes we'll just call and swear. Okay, fine. I just text, I'm in labor. I didn't say anything about coming. I wake up my sister. It was like at 3 o'clock. She runs me a bath. That's it. I go to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, within that time that I told him that I'm in labor, he was at the hospital already, by the door.
Sure.
But then he knew that my sister's going to take me to the hospital. He went outside like,
yeah.
My sister got me there, got me admitted. She nursed me through my pregnancy, remember? Got me admitted. I stayed there. They like, somebody's here. He's saying he's your husband. Whatever. I'm like, who? They say, whatever. They give me the name. I'm like, oh, no, it's fine. You can let him in. He was there massaging me through the labor pains, blah, blah, blah. We were fine. The mother was calling, how is she? That pissed me off. Because when I did something wrong in the family, his family, I once had a quarrel with the little sister. Lena, she's like 99 or something like that. We had a fight, and then she's like, you need to call your aunt, to bring your aunt here to come and ask for forgiveness because you were shouting in my house. Now, I got angered with her because now the son did something so big, but you can't even come to my home.
It has not been addressed.
You haven't, nothing. I went back, like he was there, hospital, admission. Then when I got discharged, something in me said, I want to go home. I don't want to go to his house. I want to go home. I want to go to my sister's house. Instead of him fetching me, I called my sister and said, come fetch me. She's like, oh, you're going to Alex? I'm like, yes. Because she could see that he's coming to the hospital all the time. Visiting book is stating, obviously. She thought I was going back to my house. I'm like, I'm not going back there. I'm going back home. I went back home. I was there being nice. One day my sisters, they could see that I'm disturbed a bit. I'm not okay. One day I could see, man, you know, siblings, they're your siblings. You can sort of know, man, they're sneaking around.
Yeah.
They're sneaking around. They'll be like, yo, I'm like, where are they going? Kanti, they're going to his mother's place.
Okay.
They felt they needed to address
the elephant in the room.
Yes. in the process of the elephant in the room, you must know that there were times that we talk. We talk to each other. We talk amongst. We good to each other. He would tell me that, yo, my mom is asking me for the Wendy house. I'm like, which Wendy house? The one in our house. Imagine. I'm like, I'm not there. Why is she asking for my furniture? Why is she asking for my things? My home is under an attack, but she wants my things. Doesn't make sense.
It's like she's contributing to attacking the home.
My sister. I told my sisters. I'm like, I was not stressed until I realized the mother has got a salt in it. She's just, I don't know whether she doesn't like me, but now she has to tolerate me because now I have kids, Like, they went there. I don't know what really, really happened, but they exchanged words. They were pissed. My sisters were angry.
So it wasn't a good meeting?
No.
Okay.
It made things worse. They told them, take your child, we'll take ours. Fine. They came back. The fact that I was like disturbed. I called them. I'm like, where are you guys going? Why are you weird? Then they got lost going to my mother. Yes. Then they had to ask for an address from me. I'm like, why do you want the address? They're like, no, we were planning something for you, Nyana. We want to pass it by them, Then I kind of thought, since is the baby there, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You didn't
Maybe,
know
no, I kind of thought it's a baby boom thing.
Yeah.
They called me like, tell the little sister to open the gate. I called the little sister. I'm like, Nana, please open the gate. Nana goes to the parents and said, as she says, I must open the gate. They're like, no, open for it. They thought it's me.
Yeah.
3 musketeers, my sisters. The mother of the niece, second born and the firstborn. They had a fight. She comes back. They come back. When they came back, I could see like they angered. I'm like, are you guys okay? No, you know what? Your mother-in-law is not a nice person. Little now, we don't like your husband that much, but we never be inside your things. We feel like she doesn't like you, and it hurts. How could, what did I do to her? Nothing. The visit made him swear at me and said, hey, your sisters are doing this, is doing that. You would blame me for people's actions.
Yeah.
I would get blamed for that. If, for example, somebody visiting our house, he'll say, why did he visit? I don't like the sister. I don't like Mang Mang. Why is the child
visiting? Why did you allow them to come and visit?
I'm like, but they're visiting me.
Yeah.
So we had a fight about that and everything. So within the process, to show that my sisters tried to make it work, they even organized a baby shower for me for the third baby. They called him.
Sure.
They were like, we want to throw a baby shower. They didn't tell me these things until I gave birth. I only knew the drama after I gave birth. They were like, you were pregnant, we wouldn't tell you such things. They planned a baby shower for me. And they asked him, can we put the address of the house on the thing? We do it at your place. The decor people will come and decorate. Catering, they will come. He said yes. 1 week to the baby shower, he calls and says, don't come here. My sisters had to change the venue. They changed the venue. It succeeded. I had a baby shower. On Saturday, we slept at that place where the baby shower was. On Saturday, Sunday, he comes. He's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm fine. He's like, no, I wanted to come see you. I'm like, no, you can fetch the one that was going to school. During the week, he was staying with her because I was heavily pregnant. He fetches the baby. He's like, no, can Somer go with her now? I'm like, yeah, you can take her. It's Sunday either way. It's 11 o'clock, yeah, but you can take the child because what's the point of coming back here in Soweto and then you're going to Rodiport, just take the baby. And then he took the child. They left. I didn't ask him anything. I didn't ask him what transpired for him to change the address, nothing. My sisters went to a point where they invited his side of the family, the in-laws, the sister-in-laws. Nobody came.
To the baby shower?
Yes.
So everybody in that family has beef with you?
Yes, apparently. So, yeah, nobody came. That's it. They went. I was like to my sisters, it's fine. It's their choice. Isn't it that you guys tried to mend things, invite them because I'm carrying their grandson? It's fine. We Fast forward, I'm like, I need to get the birth certificate for the baby. He's like, okay. I always involve him. He's the father of the baby either way. I'm like, do you want to get it? Do you want to be in there? Because you are in both their certificates. Do you also want to be in this one? He's like, yes. Okay, we do the birth certificate. He's like, I want to give him the name. He gives the baby the name. I give him the name. We do that. It's fine. Fast forward, he's like, please, I know I made a mistake. Come back home.
Okay.
Come to the house. If you come to the push, I will move out. You stay in the house with the kids. I'm like, okay, sharp. I went back. Oh, I said, I'm going to Limpopo first.
Okay.
I'll come back. When I come back from Limpopo, I'll come to the house. Okay, fine. I came back to the house. That day, I shouldn't have done that. The minute I got there, I'm packing things. I have a small baby. Guys started saying, I don't want you here. I don't want you here. I don't want you here. I made a mistake. I'm like, yo, you know that mistake of yours, you'll swallow it. Because I'm here now. I cannot be going up and down like I'm a crazy person. And then he's like, I want to sleep in the separate bedrooms. I'm like, it's fine. I have a small baby. It's not like something will happen. He slept in the separate bedroom I went back in 31st of December. Until we actually got divorced. Until I lodged the divorce, until I asked for divorce. He would tell me that I'm a parasite in his life. I'm like, how am I a parasite? He's like, he's supporting me. He's like, he's supporting me.
Okay, Zintle is chasing us. Yeah. She's saying that we don't have time. Zintle, how much is extra time like your soccer match in the studio? I'm giving it to you. Okay, we appreciate it, ne?
Thank you.
We're gonna wrap up. Yes. Thank you.
So first of all, I'm just saying it's a hectic situation. I shouldn't have went back. I was emotionally abused, mentally abused, financially abused. In the process of me being back in the house, he'd be like, I want a DNA test. I said, okay, you can have a DNA test. Even if you want, you can have a DNA test for all the three kids. Yeah. He's like, I'll do it in June. June went August. I'm like, no, do it now. I want us to do the DNA test so that we can
get it over and done
with. He started saying, move out of the house. I don't want you inside the house. You're a parasite.
Even.
I cannot support you. He's like, Ibileni, I'm removing you from the medical aid. You cost a lot. Hey, I'm like,
this is a man who cheated on you with your friends and your niece.
I'm like, did I start costing a lot now? It's like, Mara, you finished giving birth. You've got 3 kids. I don't think you're going to be needing a medical aid. He removed me from my medical aid. Fine. It's fine. I'm alive. Sure. Fast forward, I'm like, I went to Durban with the kids. I came back 8th of December. House is empty. He took half of everything. There's a small TV, big TV, what, big fridge, small TV, small fridge. He took what he feels he owns, half of. Because on that Friday where I left for Durban, they served him divorce summons.
Okay.
So maybe they ticked him. He took every half of, he took the bed, he took whatever he felt like it was his. He left. When I came back, I didn't come back with the kids. The kids, I left them with my sister. I'm like, I'm going to work one day. Let me go to work and come back. I got there, the house is echoing there. There's an echo in there. I'm like, oh my God, we've been robbed. My sister's like, I'm like, no, the house, there's no TV. She's like,
how can they take one TV and leave the other one?
She's like, is the big TV there? I'm like, She's like, no, you're not robbed. He moved out. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Then I thought I was going to stay in the house with the kids. It's fine. I packed the house the way that I feel like I need to pack it. Fine. I went back to fetch my kids. After 2 days, I come back. Now the meter is gone for the water. She's like, for sure, he's like, she can't stay here. Why is she staying in the house that I'm paying? This one needs to move out. I go to city. I'm like, I don't have the meter. They're like, hi, we didn't remove the meter and we don't have the order to remove the meter. And the meter is not stolen. Mind you, he works with the water, this one. Then I realized, no, more guy.
You removed it.
Yeah, I called him and said, bring back the meter that you took. I said it direct. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, you know. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So since then, since he moved out until now, he hasn't been supporting his kids. I'm doing it on my own. Trust me, the niece situation, it doesn't break me anymore. The only thing that's breaking me, it's the financial situation with its kids, because they were used to English life, you know. Now
you have to downgrade now.
Now I have to take them to Alex. Sure. I grew up there. I'm used to it. You know.
And you wanted something better for your kids.
Yes. A man who has said he loves you your whole life can wreck your life. Sure. I just don't know, where did we go from him taking care of his kids to me
being on your own.
Yes. Yes, we had our own differences. They don't include the kids.
Why must the kids suffer for?
He hasn't seen the kids. He came, I think, twice. He hasn't seen the kids. They were used to him. The middle one, he was struggling. But there's nothing that I can do. I told myself I'll just keep on saying, he'll come see you, he'll come see you. I had to downgrade to... Sometimes you need to downgrade to give your kids life.
Oh,
you know.
There you go.
Thank you. You need to downgrade to give them a perfect life. You need to start from scratch. You know, to give them security, to give them peace. Because I don't think the quarrels that we had every day, they were peaceful for them.
Yeah.
Then I told my sister, I'm like, I want to come back home. I know I have 3 kids now, but I want to come back home. Then my sister was like, it's fine. I stay here. But I'm working better. I know you've got kids now. You have to take care of the kids. Let me move out. You stay with the kids. She did that. She moved out. Now I'm trying to settle with the kids. I changed the school, the older one, the daycare. This one is, at least the Nini is the same person. At least the change is not drastic.
It's not so bad.
Yeah. But with the environment, you can just see they're
not used to it.
They're struggling. And I was also struggling, but I need to be like stronger for them. And the middle one will be like, Mama, are you sad? You angry? I'm like, not. I'm just quiet. She's like, don't be quiet. Let's talk. You know. And then I realized that she can see that something is not right. It was a storm after the storm. When I went to fetch my things from the old house, the kids were playing in that old house. They were playing. I was packing my things. And I was packing in a hurry because I didn't want them to find me there. Because his family and the uncles and everybody, they kept on saying, you should have stayed, you know. A woman must, I don't know, something like, but invent that, something. It's something that says I must.
Must be the biggest.
Yes. Then I said, no, you'll never see that one. And then the reaction that I always gave him when he did something wrong to me, they labeled me as a crazy person. And I'm like, you see the crazy person that you always said I was? That's the crazy person you're going to start to see from now on. I know even the father-in-law, though he was on my side, that is his child.
Yeah, that's true.
He even went to find a lawyer for him, you know. I got so pissed, I blocked everybody.
Yeah.
I said, this is for my peace. This is for my kids. They know where the grandsons are, where the granddaughters are, when the grandchildren are. If they want to see them, they will say something. If they want to talk to them, they have my sister's numbers. If they want them, they know where to find them.
Sure.
And then now, my kids are seasonally, they get sick seasonally. They're always sick. I text the grandfather, I'm like, can you please tell him to give me the medical aid details, the new ones?
Yeah.
So that I can take...
The kids too.
They're not okay. They tried that. He's like, I'll send you cash. And then I realized when I'm alone, I'm like, man, it means the kids were also removed from
the medical
aid.
Sure.
I took my kids to a clinic, like a government clinic. It's fine. They're fine. I just realized that I need to have heavy and big shock absorbers to actually handle this whole situation, because in this whole thing that I'm explaining, that I'm telling now, obviously it can't be the whole,
Yeah.
but my kids are in shock. I'm in shock. And sometimes they'll tell you, even at home, you see that they're confused, that I only came back after 3 kids. Why? Why didn't I come back then? Why? I only found peace now. I only found strength now. I only gained the power now to say, let me love myself. Let me do me. Let me try that. So some things you don't need to talk much. I won't lie to you. I never used to pray. I never used to go to church. I don't go to church now, but I pray.
Yeah.
Now I pray. Like I pray. Because I realize some of the things, they are heavier, they're bigger. In the process of being big, I'm like to myself, I am not gonna go down for this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna drown. I'm not allowing him to drown me. Because if I drown, I'm drowning with my kids.
And what did you do to him to deserve this?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I just feel like maybe I don't know. What did I do, Vet?
But all I know is, no matter what it takes, you have to live for your kids, for yourself. You need to start living. You owe yourself that much. You've given so many years of your life to that man, and he didn't even deserve it to begin with.
Yeah. But I'm glad. Sometimes you find people you connect with, even if you don't know them. They will put you through the situation that you're going through, and then they will match with you.
Yeah.
And then you'll actually heal
Yeah.
eventually. I'm not as emotional about it that he left. No. What makes me emotional are my kids.
Yeah.
They're my kids.
What did they do?
Yes. Why do they have to suffer? Why do they have to get a drastic change? Why? Do you understand? So I stay in Alex. I work in Soweto, but I made sure my kids are within the vicinity space of home. They're like home. They're not traveling like me. Unlike me going to rent out a place where I'm going to be paying a lot of stuff now. Like, I felt like it's let me go back home. Home is home.
Yeah.
But I'm finding myself, I'm doing stuff for myself. Before I did that, I was doing a makeup, I had a makeup company, but because I was traveling a lot, it annoyed him. So I stopped. So
there's a lot of things you
stopped.
Put on hold for him.
So those are the things that I need to actually go revisit and actually make them mine and see my life from the other side and just push it and move and try to make my kids as comfortable as they can be.
Give me your hand. You're not alone. Okay. You are not alone. There are so many women out there who have been through a lot. And I know this for a fact because you join our lives. You see things that women go through. And I want you to understand that even when it's really, really tough, you're not alone and you can do this. So many of us before you have come out. We are living to tell the tale. We started from scratch. I always share my story openly with the hope that it will give somebody hope that they don't give up.
Yes.
You cannot afford to give up. You cannot. You've already lost so many years of your life and you lost yourself, but you still have an entire life ahead of you. Yeah. And the one thing that you owe yourself is to live that life. And that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to live the life that you owe yourself, that you never gave yourself. Everything that you compromise for yourself, you're going to get that. You're going to give your kids that. Rome was never built in one day. You're not going to do it in one day. But you're going to get there. You're going to do this thing. And I thank God because you are blessed. You have family. You have a job. There are others who are starting from way below where you are starting. And you have to start from having a grateful heart. You know, being grateful that where you are starting, at least there's a plan. You work your way on that. We've had to downgrade. I've had to have a conversation with my kids and make them understand. And I trust me, those little minds, they are smart. They understand. From time to time, take them on an ice cream date, have a conversation with them and say, kids, listen, this is what is happening. But we're going to be okay. Our kids see superheroes when they look at us. They do. And we're not superheroes because we have superpowers, but we have superheroes because they just see us making ends meet. And the smallest things that you are going to be doing for your kids, no matter how much you feel like, you know what, my kids are not used to this lifestyle, they're not adjusting to this. But trust me, the little things that you do for them, it's a print that you're leaving in your kids' heart, and they're going to appreciate every single thing that you're going to be doing for them from here going forward. And you got this. We are here for you. You get me? Mm-hmm. Going to be okay.
I do.
Whew. Yo, guys, I don't even know what to say. I'm going to keep you in my prayers, and I know you're going to overcome. And I know that one day we're going to come back and sit here, and we're going to be talking about big things that you have made, big moves that you have made since the last time you were here. And I have no doubt, because when I look at you, I see somebody who's fired up. It's just that sometimes we lose ourselves on the way because we focus our energy on different things. Yes. But if you recollect all of it and you focus it on yourself, I can tell you now, you'll never go wrong. You will never, ever go wrong. And before I forget, you guys, this episode is also sponsored by Hydro Quench. They've been giving us water, so that at least as we are processing the news, we are staying hydrated. And also a big shout out to E2 Hair Studio, who's been sponsoring us with the hair. And also a big shout out to Crowned Lioness, who's been dressing me up. And last but not least, a big shout out to Send Studios, our home, where, literally for this place to be the safe space chats is because our home is also very safe for us to share these conversations. And I really thank God for that. Just in closing, I just want you to share with the people what you're busy with now, how the people can get a hold of you and, see what type of help we can, even if it's just support, moral support. Where can they get you?
I do have Instagram handle. It's Asnath Mathiba _Mathiba. And then I do have also TikTok. It's Asnath Mathiba.
Okay.
Those are the platforms that I'm actually active on.
Okay, I heard you earlier on off camera. You said you were busy with some business.
Oh, yes, I also... Oh, my God. Okay, I also have catering company that is starting off. Okay. It's the name is Mathiba Cooks. Okay. I think they're going to be seeing it on social medias very soon. And also the makeup brand that I'm actually bringing up. At least now you have to make it take off the way that it was.
Yeah.
So, I'm working on some things. Yes.
And as much as it's hard, trust and believe the amount of time and energy you were investing in the wrong things, you're going to take that energy and you're going to invest it in all these businesses, and they're going to be a success. Mm-hmm. I have no doubt about that.
Whew, yeah.
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining in. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a lovely comment down below. Just a comforting message, and also how you can, help our sister. Let's help one another. Let's encourage one another. And I love you. God bless you. Mwah.